923-0007 is the number to call. You can write it down now for those who do not have it. 0817-923-0007. You can also call 0817-923-0003. On Facebook at Nigeria Info 92.3 BH. Now, Mr. Ikenga, let's come to you. First is we all saw the proceedings in court. What's the position of the APC with regards to what transpired and how it's all played out up until this moment?
Okay, thank you, Andrew, once again, and thank you, listeners. I was the Supreme Court myself, and there were quite a lot of, or a plethora of cases for determination. And I'm sure you have the details. And the Supreme Court had them all. But the most interesting is the fact that one of the cases which was supposed to be determined as well, which was as a result, or which the state government challenged the Justice Omotosho's judgment, which was validated by the Court of Appeal and given another flesh by another Court of Appeal judgment. That's two Court of Appeal judgments. And the governor of Rivers State, Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his team, challenged the decisions of these two courts at the Supreme Court. But when it was supposed to appear, they came in to say that they were withdrawing. And you know the relevance of withdrawing from a case which you ab initio were dissatisfied with. It means that you have accepted the previous judgments which we are trying to challenge. So that's what it is. That's the position of APC as a party.
So for the APC, you're saying, well, now that they withdrew that, they should then go implement that judgment that came from the Omotosho's court that they were, in that instance, appealing against.
Yes, Omotosho and Court of Appeal. You know, they challenged it at the Court of Appeal and they also lost. Court of Appeal validated the Omotosho judgment. So they should go ahead and implement those items or those issues, those reliefs that were sought and gotten at that level.
So some of the items, because I think the major one everybody had focused on was the representation of the budget for 2024. What other items, from the perspective of the APC, is being looked at to say, well, these ones, even if you want to say that the 2024 budget were no longer in 2024, how can we go back and do that? Which would be an argument that would be definitely made. What other items are there that you'd look at from your perspective as an opposition political party?
Yeah, firstly, I think there are about 11 of those reliefs. Some of them, and which is also of very immense importance, is the fact that Justice Omotosho's judgment did say that the only legally recognized House of Assembly is the one led by Right Honorable Martin Samehule, and as well as the only legally permissible House of Assembly who should take bills from the executive is the 27-member House of Assembly led by Right Honorable Martin Samehule. So in confirmation of appointments, in appropriation deals, to mention but a few, are only legal if they pass through the Right Honorable Martin Samehule led House of Assembly. These are some of the issues that are there. And that any other group, any other person or group are not recognized by law. So there are a whole lot of other things, and that the National Assembly should not take over the responsibilities of 11 of them. I'm sure you should have them. So these are some of.
No, we just wanted to hear from the opposition. Since you're speaking on behalf.
Okay,
of the APC,
thank you.
So we have.
A balanced view. Okay, that's fine. So what I'm saying is that why do they want to concentrate only on what they quote and unquote say 2024 budget had no life anymore, or that it has been overtaken by events? What events have been overtaken by the relief? Let me ask a question.
So can they represent that budget?
If you commit a crime in Nigeria, even if it's 10 years after, are you saying that when it is discovered that you actually did commit that crime, that you won't be prosecuted? That's the issue. So if, in the eyes of the law, Justice Omotosho, the Court of Appeal, and the Supreme Court in this case have said that the governor of Rivers State, the executive arm of Rivers State, have failed to comply with the provisions of the Constitution by presenting.
Did the Supreme Court say this?
Yeah, of course, it is implied.
At the hearing.
It is implied.
I need us to be straight. Implied or said?
Let me say something. There is a Court of Appeal judgment which had directed that the state executive represent the budget 2024 to the Martin Samewule led House of Assembly. And it was on the basis of that they challenged that decision. So having challenged the decision, everybody was ready to hear the position of the Supreme Court. And you now say you have withdrawn. So having withdrawn, what is left? What is the law left?
If it is withdrawn, wouldn't it would ordinarily many would say, do we expect the Supreme Court to then say, okay, if you're withdrawing, then it means that this, because the argument for many people is, well, we have the council now wanting to interpret on their own what should then be, not the Supreme Court saying what should be after the withdrawal.
Okay, let's throw away the councils from both sides. Let's throw them away. Let's even agree without considering that Supreme Court didn't take any decision. Let us also even agree that as it is today, they did not appeal the judgment of the Court of Appeal and that of Omotosho. So what's the status? The status is that judgment from Omotosho and that of the Court of Appeal subsists, and that's the law today.
But doesn't that then bring us to the fact that the authenticity of the lawmakers is then in question? Because another argument has been that how can we go present to these lawmakers when the court has not established whether they are still lawmakers following, I mean, you are very much aware the defection situation that happened and all the drama that followed afterwards. And I'm pretty sure that matter is still in court to determine whether or not they are still lawmakers. Now, there's that argument. So for many, how can we go present when we've not sorted this out? We don't know whether these people are the lawmakers or not. So how do we then put these things side by side? As an opposition, how do you look at it?
Okay, firstly, we cannot take laws onto our hands. They are validly elected House of Assembly members. And you now say that they have defected. As a party, they may have found interest in the progress, they have found interest in the leadership, and they have found interest in the policies and programs of the APC. They did not say they didn't vote for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They did say so. But they are not members of the APC as we speak. Assuming without considering that they showed interest to say, oh, we are interested in this party. But there are processes. The fact that you like UST or Rivers State University because you like the school and because you have interest in attending the university to obtain your degree, does that make them award you certificate? I'm coming. Does that make them award you certificates?
No.
There are procedures required. For instance, in APC, for you to join our party, if you are an already existing member of another party, as they are, PDP, they need to first resign. After resigning, they come to our party and register, and they are issued membership cards and their names put in the register. And to this day, it has not happened. So how do they claim?
So if this did not happen, like
it never did happen.
It never did happen.
Yes.
How come they were at the rally saying with the microphone that we defected to the APC? They said that. In fact, I had interviewed the chairman of your party right here, and he had even said at the time that they are in the APC and they are within his purview, and he has powers to tell them to sit down and look at whether they would impeach the governor. That was at the time when all of those had those issues. We've had all of those situations, and people now are looking at, oh, there's the videos of this on the floor of the house and all that you said, like the UST example you made. I may be interested in going to UST, but I haven't. But at the same time, if I cannot go into UST and stand and make a video with the VC and say, I'm now a member of the UST and so on and so, student of UST, when the VC knows that I have not registered, I'm pretty sure he would correct me or correct the people. But we didn't see any of that happen at that time. So don't you think this puts everybody in a very confused state?
No, in this instance, I'm the VC you're talking about because I'm the mouthpiece of the party. So if I'm telling you that whatever you see on the media does not suffice, does not convince anybody that these members of the Rivers State Assembly has switched their party to us, and no competent court of jurisdiction had said so, that they have shifted grounds from the PDP to the APC. Take note also that PDP were involved in their congresses very recently, and you saw them play very prominent roles there. APC did their own very recently, and you never saw any of them. So these are the things these are facts, verifiable facts, that these members of the assembly, under Right Honorable Martin Samewule and others, are still in the PDP. Also take note that there is an APP in Rivers State, from which quote and unquote they conducted local government elections. Those people who conducted the local government elections and won, which party do they belong to? Those who funded them, those who supported them, which party do they belong to?
The state government doesn't look at parties to fund elections, does it? It doesn't.
Sorry?
The state government funded an election through RACIEC. Isn't that what that was? And, well, whoever is in whatever party, or are you saying because the governor is in the PDP and then the elections were conducted with him as governor,
and his party lost all the 23 local governments?
Well, his party did not participate. I think that was... We'll come back to this, so we'll get your point. Let's take a very short commercial. Stay with us. Conversation continues.
Stay with us. Nigeria Info. We'll be back.
Ikenga, the spokesperson for the APC in Rivers State, is still with me in the studio. It's been quite interesting getting his views and perspective from the eyes of the opposition and how they interpret what's happening with regards to the Supreme Court hearing on the part of the state government. There's still plenty more questions to ask. Unfortunately, we don't always have all the time, so we'll try to manage what we have and see what we can get out of it. Remember, again, on Facebook, we are live at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. That's the handle. So please go on Facebook, like the page, be a part of the conversation, join the live stream, click the share button. You can ask your questions, keep it very short and straight to the point. And then the numbers to call, you can write them down, 0817-923-0007 or 0817-923-0002. Mr. Ikenga, before the break, you had tried to clarify that, well, Martin Amenwule and the other lawmakers are not members of the APC. They are members of the PDP because, in your position as, according to our illustration, the VC, they did not follow the process that's required for them to be members of your party. Well, all of that is in court now. Perhaps we would also wait for what the court will say about interpreting that. But what's even much more interesting is my next question. And that would be recent comments that we've heard from the governor during the visit of traditional leaders from Kalabari and the talks of 2027. The APC as a party, is it formidable for 2027? Have you been able to put your house in order and resolved all of the leadership crises that the party experienced in the past couple of months last year? How far is the party with trying to unify its members and forge a common front?
Okay, thank you. I think that I will not belabor our listeners with the chronology of the crisis in the former APC and under the former leadership of the party. What we know is that as of today, APC is more recalibrated, reorganized. APC has become stronger. APC is the alternative, and that's why everyone is trooping into the APC. Clearly, in 2027, APC will recover the state. You'll recall that the national chairman of the party, Alajuma Ganduje, and the national working committee of the party were here to inaugurate our newly elected executive. And the national chairman did say that having won Edo State in the South, that the next state to capture, quote and unquote, his word, to capture is Rivers State, and it is a task that must be done by all. So I'm sure that you know that the president of Nigeria is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. APC holds sway at the national level, and then we are making inroads critically into all the segments of Rivers State where we defeat the PDP. And take note, PDP is in shambles. They're in crisis. Their crises have deepened from the national down to the unit level across the country, and they will not muster the strength to be able to challenge in APC in Nigeria and indeed in Rivers State.
No, would that be a concern? Because even at local government level, we don't have the PDP in power, it's the APP. Is that something that the APC has looked at as a concern?
Well, it's not PDP that is in power at the local government level. It's not also the APP that is in power.
Who is?
Those issues are before the courts and are sub judice, and we're not expected to say until the courts make final determinations as to what it is before we talk about them. So as far as the law is concerned, there is vacuum at local government.
You say vacuum at the local government, but they've been...
As far as the law is concerned.
As far as the law is concerned, but they've been working. They get allocations. In fact, in Obiakpo, for instance, the council chairman has plenty of praises as well as plenty of criticisms. Is the APC concerned about how the council chairmen are running affairs of the council? In Obiakpo, recently there were talks of taxes, extra taxes for drivers, for POS operators, and there's been plenty of protests towards that back and forth. In some other councils, there have been talks of workers not being paid, minimum wage not being implemented, workers being owed, and so on and so forth. As an opposition political party, have you been bothered by these, and what do you make of their performance so far?
Well, one, you can operate on illegality, and that impunity cannot be sustained. I cannot discuss that there is a local government leadership democratically elected in Rivers State. As a party, we do not know.
But there was an election.
Well, there was no election. It's sub judice. We know that a court granted us an opportunity as APC. We went to court when we challenged that the election which was planned was illegal because the proper things were not done. They did not get, as required by law, they did not get the voters register from INEC, and then so many other things. They did not do the proper timing of the information and notice of election. These are issues. All these are before the Supreme Court now.
But not according to the Research Commissioner, because I spoke with him.
Sorry, I said all of them are before the Supreme Court. It's one of the cases for determination. Judgment has been reserved. So let's not look at it. Let's allow them take their decision because we're not expected to speak on those issues. That's the information I've given to you. But on the issue as to whether anybody is performing, impunity cannot be sustained because we're in a democracy. And because we're in a democracy, we're not in self-rule where people make determinations as to what happens. No, we are a nation of laws and we must respect our laws. So I cannot sit in the studio here and begin to discuss an imaginary existence of local government leadership.
All right, let's go to the phone lines. I'm sure the listeners would have several questions to ask. On Facebook, we're asking you, do you believe in the ability of the APC to form, to still be a formidable opposition in the state? Let us know what your thoughts are on Facebook at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. I will go to the phone lines quickly before we take your Facebook comment. Emeka from Elele, we'll start with you. Please, straight to the point. Try to keep it as short as possible. Good morning, Emeka.
Yes, my dear brother, good morning.
All right, go on. Question or contribution?
I want to greet your guest in the studio. My dear brother, I don't know why Ikenga is trying to deceive for the public. Is Ikenga, is it an APC member? Is it an spokesman to the APC? Why is he trying to deceive River State and River State people? Confusion. Is it a lawyer? I was in the Supreme Court that day. What is the judgment of the Supreme Court? The Supreme Court, the judge. They have turned people of River State to be a lawyer. Even I was in the bus yesterday. A conductor is quoting constitution. Everybody now has the constitution in River State because of this so-called APC and PDP in River State. Ikenga is not the spokesperson of APC in River State.
Why
Ikenga
and how?
is not a member of APC.
Oh, okay.
Ikenga should leave the public alone. He should stop deceiving the public.
He's here in the studio. He would definitely respond, Emeka. Let's take a few more calls. He would definitely respond to that. Patrick in Echie, good morning. Okay, we lost the call from Patrick. In Buguma, Isaiah is on the line. Hello, Isaiah. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Yes.
Eric.
Let me say that if the guest in the studio is very economical with the truth. When you now say that there was no substantive local government chairman, I don't understand. Was he living abroad? You see, we keep saying that the Abuja, they all ran to. They only go there, only to come here in the state and either to misinform the public or to cause anarchy or create issues, and they go back. You can't tell me that where was he when on the 5th of October? Are you is he in a trance? Did he travel out? When you were also moderating him to let him know that fateful day there was a transparency of election where people came out and exercised their franchise in selecting and electing their leaders. And you are not there telling us, okay, now, here in the state, are you very comfortable that people say they are owing prayers for so leader? Is the leader contesting election? You are owing prayer for him 2027 to do what? Now he's saying that you come and take a river state, a state where the governor is maximally performing.
All right, Isaiah. Thank you very much. Let's go to Yenegua now and hear from Gift. Good morning, Gift.
Good morning, Andrew Fiumi. Good morning to the authentic publicity secretary of APC River State. No argument about that. people should be ashamed of themselves. Where a situation, national chairman of a political party for the first time in Nigerian history came down with the full ESCO. That is the full weight of the federal might, telling you, anyone who cares to listen, that Shifton Okosha, Ikenga, who is there in the studio, is the publicity secretary. Shifton Okosha is the chairman. And you will come and challenge. I laugh at them. As far as the law is concerned, no local government, local level, just as he said, until the Supreme Court will rule. This one. Then if you come to the judgment that he's talking about, so you are telling me, or twice, confirm this man called Chibike Amewile as King of River State House of Assembly, and today, thank God, is World Radio Day. And we don't want to acknowledge that. We are taking the narrative of a man that is not recognized, that 3 persons said declared, which is the Attorney General of River State. Do you know that that man is operating illegally? Are you aware of that according to the law, not according to gift? He's not recognized because he's not the one to clear the house. It was not the house to clear him.
All right.
Why are we behaving like this?
Let's go to Rumibo now. JJ is on the line.
And do the right thing.
JJ, good morning.
Yeah, Andrew, good morning.
Good morning.
Let me greet your guests in the studio. That day that you people were in Polo Club, I know you have children, and they ask you, Daddy, where are you going to? I wonder what you tell them, and thank God they are in school right now when they are hearing tongue twisting.
JJ, you just go straight to the point. I don't see how children in school and all. Straight to the point, please.
The former governor of River State, who is their leader, said if they have told him, would advise them not to have gone to defect another party. Tony Okocha, who is his own chairman, factional chairman, have also said that they are his members, that they should start impeachment proceedings against the governor, or else he will invoke the party's disciplinary on them. And you're telling me you didn't receive people, they just came and danced with you because they want to join your party. Which party are we even talking about according to the former governor, who is now city minister? Party that dollar is rising every day, party that hunger is everywhere, party that people are dying every day. What are we talking about here? So for me, the Supreme Court has reserved judgment, so you too wait. Because you are talking about local government that they don't exist here. Which election did you announce that you are boycotting on the 5th of October? And does that stop the election from holding? So what are we talking about here that we don't remember what we say anymore? And the no court has pronounced Martin Amewule as any speaker anywhere. The event has overtaken it. They have defected, and 2025 is here to stay. There's no going back.
All right, let's go to Rumokuta. Chima, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Isemi.
All right.
And I also greet Honorable Ikenga at the studio.
I greet you, my brother.
Yeah, Mr. Isemi, first of all, I remember when the Commissioner for Information, River State, was in the studio and I was talking. You called to order that I should know that he's a leader and I should respect him. I wonder why the first caller.
I never said anything of such, Chima, ever, when he was there. So I don't know how you got that. Please, I'm seated right here. Never ever said to you that.
Let us go to the matter at hand.
Thank you.
Mr. Ikenga has said that the matter that is in court, that he didn't want to do it like preempting the court. Because whether you like it or not, I know there was no election that day, and I know that there is no how you can do an election in a democratic government where the police is not involved, where the INEC cannot give you the material. Because if you say you're doing an election without INEC giving you material, which means you have also deprived some people that did not register in the last registration from voting. Now let us do that one aside. If the Supreme Court says anything. Now in the matter at hand that the governor came to withdraw. Now we've forgotten that if you are the one that took a matter to court and you want to withdraw it, it simply means that you have agreed to what will make you to go and take matter to court. Now you have already agreed that Martin Amewule is the Speaker of River State, because if you look at the appeal court judgment, it was not only covered by just the budget. Even telling you that he's the authentic speaker, even telling you that the Okojombo, they are no group of friends, even went further prescribing you that you're exhibiting executive rascality. Now, my own idea is that now I am angry because I am urging the Martin Amewule-led assembly to begin to move process of the impeachment of the governor of River State. And let us say it's going to be
All right, let's go to Remo Dumaya now. Bright is on the line. Thank you, Chima. Bright, good morning.
Thank you, Fiona. Good morning.
Good morning.
You know, one thing in River State is that people maybe talk in different ways that will suit them. I want to greet your guest this morning for being there in the studio. I was thinking the other Ikenga that causes the problem. So, concerning the issue, Martin Mosley, you know, when a governor has reviewed his own appeal, it means that you can see that what the High Court has decided and the appeal court will be sustained. So meaning the parties remain the original and authentic speaker of River State House of Assembly. Now we get River State government, the governor, to be meaningful by representing the budget so that the state can move forward. And again, I know this one like today is not a regular day. You people should be reporting what happened in court. I'm not former commissioner of River State or what you must say. Because it took me time to get the right information other than what commissioner is saying and what he must be saying. And secondly, the APC is working from.
All right, Bright.
If PDP is not trying to give up their heart,
Bright, thank you. Let's go to Samuel in Water Lines. If Samuel, we don't have all the time, so please, I'll just give you a few seconds. Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew.
Few seconds, please.
I want to say that I think your guest in the studio is deceiving Rivers people, because what happened in 2015 or 2003 will happen again, where APC don't have candidates. Who do it? It's also who they call their paymaster today. And that
the APC has not called him their paymaster, so please, all right, Samuel.
Will not have a candidate in River State. I assure them that. That is the assurance I give them.
All right, thank you. But the APC had never called the FCT minister its paymaster, so let's correct that. Mr. Ikenga, let's quickly get your responses to, especially the first person who says you're not a member of the APC.
Yeah, let me react to the last man. The last man who said 2003. I don't think that he has any information. He just comes on air to say what he likes. What is 2003 and what election said in 2003? By 2003, was there anything like APC? So he's just talking out of point. Doesn't have
perhaps he was referring to
2019.
The 2019.
2019. So 2019, that's not a problem. What I tell you is that clearly APC we have passed through those challenges and we have become stronger. You know, because before gold, you see it very shiny and very ornamental. You find out that it goes through fire to be able to come out very beautiful. So APC has gone through its challenges and then we'll come out stronger. We have come out stronger and then we're poised to taking over the reins of government. Then finally, let me go back to the guy who said I'm not a member of the APC. I'm a foundation member of APC and I've never defected from the APC to another party today. So the young man who talked from LLA that I'm not a member of APC, he doesn't even know me, doesn't even know anything about me. I'm a foundation member. We started APC from the 2012 up to today. I've been a member of the APC, never left the party, still very strong there, and a strong supporter of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and also my state chairman, Chief Tony Okocha, and then my South National Vice Chairman, Chief Victor Tom Barigado, and other ESCO members. So we're there. So it doesn't have such facts. And then they said I come on air to deceive people. I don't say things I don't know. I don't say things that I don't have facts about. I have said that the decision of the Supreme Court dismissing the intended withdrawal is punitive. It's to say you can't come and waste our time. When ordinarily you knew that what you wanted to challenge, you have no facts to supporting your challenge. Therefore, we refer to status quo.
Was that what? Because the report we got from what was said in court was that both councils agreed that the matter has been overtaken by events, and so the withdrawal is accepted.
Not at
and
all.
Then a fine
not at all.
Was given.
Not at all. Our councils were willing to go ahead with the matter because they have exchanged briefs. They have joined issues. So having joined issues, you say you midway you want to now withdraw. It's okay. You cannot just withdraw. It has to be dismissed. They ask that it should be struck. And they say, no, dismiss it. Dismissal means that you can no longer come to bring life to that matter anymore. But if it was struck out, it can be re-enlisted any other day. So, secondly, they did ask that, look, we have spent time and money. We have done researches. We have also filed these briefs and all that. Then you must caution them by putting a fine on them. Yeah, putting a fine on them. And that was what was done. So, that being said, let me also respond to some guy who said that when we live in Abuja, we come to. I live in Port Harcourt. I'm an Igruta son. I live in my village. Igruta is a township, nice urbanized. That's where I live. I don't live in Abuja. If I have any business in Abuja, I go to Abuja and come back. I've always lived there. I've never lived anywhere else. So, and then on this issue raised by JAG, he said we forget what we say. I don't know where he's getting his facts. Let him put before you anything that I've said that as a party that is not what I'm still saying. I had said repeatedly that the occasion we had at Polo Club was Thanksgiving service for bringing in a new leadership of the party under caretaker.
Okay.
To thank God for it. So to say that we went there to receive us for
Mr. Ikenga, that's too
pure
much.
because we invited.
Thank you very much. We go for a commercial now.
Thank you.
The future of power, particularly in